go live. Okay, all set. So we come to the last part of this nice sutta. It's in another way, it is called as Pāsarāsisutta sutta. So that means what you're seeking. So basically right now we are seeking, two seeking. One seeking where we keep on getting rebirth. Another seeking where you will never be reborn. Okay, so then what did Buddha find? That is where we stopped. So I was talking about you can take any one of the ways of doing indicated in the Pāsarāsisutta, which is a big one, 10 into 10, 100. Or we can take Sammaditthi Sutta again by Sariputta. So both are from Sariputta only. So here in the Sammaditthi Sutta, we are working out of all of it, whichever we would like to work on. Using that sutta, we can get into Arhat. Using the Pāsarāsisutta also, you can become Arhat. So basically, whichever way we would like to take. So the aim is that what is that we are in search. So what Buddha did is to find out the reason for birth, reason for old age, like that. So we can use the same principle to find out whether Nibbida is going to happen. If Nibbida is happening, then we are on the right track. If Nibbida is not happening, then we are not on the right track. Let us say when I see somebody, the disillusionment is not happening. It is I'm getting into illusion. So what I mean by illusion is I take exactly what it is. Meaning if it is called as a beautiful woman, I take it as a really beautiful woman. Or if somebody says that it is a beautiful house, so I take it as a beautiful house. So that is an illusion. There's no beautiful in the house. It's just a house. There is no beauty in that woman or a girl or a lady or whatever it is. It is just a woman. That's all. There's nothing called beautiful woman. Handsome man. There's nothing called as handsome man. There's nothing to be handsome about. But we call handsome because that person looks nice. Again, that nice word is karma. So this is what he found, that when we put an adjective and we try defining that, the mind believes that it is true. So I become what I think. So in my mind, I'm thinking that woman is a beautiful woman. So I want, and another thing is that whatever we want, we like, we would like to possess it because we want to keep it near us. So when I see a girl who is good looking, as per me, she's very good looking, very smart, or very nice features, now I can't stay away from her. And she finds me attractive, I find her attractive. So when we both find each other attractive, that means to say that we need to be together. So when we are together, what it really means is that we are going on that path of Jara, Marana, Soka, Parideva, Dukkha, Domanasa, Upayasa. That is for sure. Either she will die first or I will die. Or if I have a child and that is come We don't know what happens to that child, because the child becomes a man or a woman, and it might listen to me or might not listen to me, or whatever it is. So we don't know. So the first problem is acknowledging that there is a beautiful woman or a handsome man or a pretty man or a pretty woman or a pretty home or a nice bank balance and this and that, whatever we are defining, those adjectives, the way we define things, that's a problem. Woman is not a problem. Woman is another being in the samsara. That's not a problem. But I'm marrying someone who is beautiful. And the beauty is during the youth. So out of 5 stages, if we were to take, so the first state is the Upachaya. That means it just germinates. Achaya, Upachaya, Santati, Jarata, Anicchata. These are the 5 stages. So Achaya is when something comes up. Just like I put seed and in the pot and I water it, small little green thing has come. In the same way, when the woman is pregnant, she will find that a small tiny speck, which is almost the size of a rice, a single grain of rice, has come. And when it comes, it stops the menstrual cycle. So it has already grown to that size and it is stopping the menstrual cycle of the woman. And then the woman will feel that why I have not got the menstrual cycle, and then she finds she's pregnant. And from that small grain of rice, it starts multiplying, becoming big and big and big, and fits the uterus, and it expands. And then the mother is able to feel somebody inside, or that woman is able to feel somebody inside her body in the 2nd month or in the 3rd month. She's able to feel, and if it is making some hand gestures or the foot gestures, or it is kicking, so the mother can feel. And the mother's body is used as a parasite. So it uses everything of the mother, right from the food to the bones. It uses everything. So the mother's body becomes heavy, so she is not able to walk. But the doctor says that you have to exercise, you have to walk, you have to do all of that, and her BP increases. Some people get little bit of sugar being high, and ultimately she delivers. So what was a grain of rice is now called as a baby. This is an illusion. Now that becomes a man or a woman, and then I feel she's beautiful, which was a grain of rice. And she's grown out of food, or he has grown out of food. In same way, I have also grown out of the food of mother and father. So Nibiddhaya, and then when we see this, we get Viragaya, then Nirodhaya, then Upasamaya, Abhinyaya, Sambodhaya, Nibbanaya. So we get all of it, 7. So when I see this, that it is just a grain of rice, consciousness is making it grow, but the body is not growing on its own. I can see that it's just growing on its own through consciousness. And as it grows, it drops the previous one. As it grows, it drops the previous one. So I can see anicchata. So Achaya, Upachaya, Santati, Jarata, Anicchata. We looked at Upachaya. Achaya, then Upachaya, so that small stalk has come. It looks so nice. Then Santati, it grows. A tender one plant has come. Then Jarata, the leaves start going away and the new leaves are coming, and the old one is gone and the new one is coming, the old one is gone. Then it starts flowering, and then flower goes away, and then we have the fruit, and the fruit falls down. And when the fruit falls down, there is the seed and goes into the ground. And again, Achaya, Upachaya, Santati, Jarata, Anicchata, dissolution of that completely. And that's the problem now. If we apply the same rule to our body, parent, when they were mating, the menstrual blood mixed with the semen, with the sperm. So it twisted itself into one side red and one side white, and it started growing. The red side is the menstrual and the white side is the semen. So it just joins. Provided the Gandhabba is present. So if the mother is in the period and the father has sperms, and if the Gandhabba is there, these three things will give Achaya, conception. Then Upachaya, modification. Then the grain of rice, and then Santati grows. The previous forms are all removed, the new form is there. Now how does the face grow? How does the body grow? How does everything grow? You have to read through the Lakkhana Sutta. The reason why I sent that is there are 32 parts of the body. 20 parts represent solid and 12 parts represents liquid, or Patavi and Apo. This Lakkhana, what we are talking, is on the whole body. Now there is a reason why I don't have hairs on my head. There is a reason why my teeth are not in a proper fashion. There is a reason why my these body hairs are in one way. There is also a reason why am I fair. There is also a reason why am I short or am I tall. And there is a reason. If you see my hand, yesterday I was showing to my wife, if I see my hand, this is bigger, it's very broad, but the fingers are very small. Now what's the reason for having such a setup where I was supposed to be like at least 5'9" as a height with this broad palm, whereas the fingers are hardly of a 4.5, 5 feet person. What's the reason? The reason is the 10 dasa akusala. That's the reason. There's nothing else is the reason. So out of the 4 vachi sankhara, I might have done something to do with sampapalapa, idle gossip, talking about somebody, and that gives me a, in Sanskrit it's called vakra, that is, in Pali it's vakka, meaning to say that it is distorted. So all my organs, including my hand, if I was measuring this length of my arm is so long to this length. And then I was measuring my chest. My chest is a size of a 41. It's very broad. For this height, this much as chest is not required. So I am short with a very broad chest. Okay. And the skin, texture of the skin. The fun part is I don't get any, what I can say, during winter, it doesn't lose shape. My wife has a problem. A whole skin gets chopped and gets into broken, whereas in my case, it never happens. And my face currently doesn't look like I am touching 50. Okay. Now the fun part. How? It all depends on what I have given to get that. So in my case, more of a vachi sankhara is bad. Mano sankhara is not that bad. Kaya sankhara is not bad. So because of that reason, I was born as a Sotapanna. The chittas have passed from the previous existence to this existence. So when I met the monk in Sri Lanka, the first thing he said is, you are a Jati Sotapanna. The reason why he made that observation is that it's not easy to read the sutta and understand and just start delivering. It's not possible. So which at that time I had not really gone so deep into it. Now I know it is what he said was true. Okay. See, if I look at the Lakhana Sutta, it clearly shows where are the flaw in my becoming Arhat, if I were to get into Arhat Phala Samapatti. So from the beginning, what is showing to me is I will definitely have Anagami. But if the Dasa Kusala reduces, or rather not reduce, Dasa Kusala completely goes away, and the 5 hindrances are not there, then the Samyojana, the other 5 Samyojana, that is Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Udacha, and then Mana, Avidya, all these 5 goes away immediately. Otherwise, I have to be happy with the 5 lower fetters not being there. 5 Samyojanas not being there. That is Kamachanda, Vyapada, then Sila Vitta Paramasa, then the Sakkaya Ditti, Visikiccha. These 5. Now what happens to Thina Mida? I'm observing myself. It's so much reducing. What about Kukucha? Restlessness, that is also going. What about, Udacha, that is going. Kukucha, I'm not feeling morally remorse. I'm not feeling, I did this guilty feeling is not there. Then if I were to observe the Visikiccha anyway is not there. So now Kamachanda is not there. Vyapada is not there. So now what I have to be working on? I have to be working on Kukucha correctly and Udacha. Okay, so it is a long process. Now Kamachanda, in what way is there and in what way not there? So when I am able to see the 5 elements in everyone, then the Kamachanda goes away. By chance, if I were to accept it, then again Kamachanda comes, but not in that fashion what it used to be. So I can still feel that there is little bit of Kamachanda, there is little bit of Vyapada. And because of that, I need to keep on working. Whereas that means Sakadagami level is when you don't have possession. So there's nothing to possess. So we can keep on checking whether the possession orientation is there and Kamachanda is there and Vyapada is there in a very reduced form. So this is the benefit of Buddha Dhamma, wherein even if we don't have the Lakkhana through Parami, we can still reach with the fetters gone. But you cannot eliminate all that has been done. So that means for getting normal powers like Dibya Sota, Dibya Chakku, and looking at the previous lives and then understanding the mind of others and then going to the place, being here. So you are here and there. So there is one friend in America of mine who loves to see me in that way. So after reading Lakkhana Sutta, he is also listening. So if he knows that I might or might not be able to go to America. While sitting in Bangalore, one part of the body will go to America and can talk at the same time. This is what Einstein found, and he called it as spooky at a distance. He kept one pair of gloves on earth, another pair of gloves moves in moon. And that is the starting point of quantum mechanics. So in quantum mechanics, if you throw two coins, when it is falling, it's not that one turns head and one turns tails. It will turn whatever it has to turn. It can turn two heads, it can turn two tails, it can become one tail, one head. But if you predict this will be head, the other one will be tail. If you don't predict, it will be whatever. But by chance you predict and say that, look, I need tails, the other one will become head. If you say this coin will be head, okay, that other coin becomes tail, as though somebody has spoken to it, saying that now this is head, that is tails. Or if you say that will be tail and this becomes head. But if you don't say anything at all, it might become two heads, it might become two tails, it might become one head, one tail. In the same way, I can leave the body, I can create another body and go there, provided the consciousness is pure. And that is what we looked into the Samannaphala Sutta, what we went through. If it is pure and bright, what we can do is, what the person can do is, he can make the consciousness remove itself from this gross body, which is a subtle body, and it can come out of the navel portion and it can start going out. And that is called as astral travel. Now in the astral travel, you can go wherever you want. Now the question comes, can I do astral travel right now? Have I got that siddhi? Have I got that fruit? Answer is no. Whereas have I gained something on parachitta jnana? So when I see a person's eyes, I can read. But that is not full. It just comes. But when I try really doing it, nothing comes. Like the girl of Shreyas' friend, I somehow that day went into her mind. But now every girl coming to my home, I can't sit and see that, okay, show me your eyes, let me read. Okay, so that is not possible. Something similar to that. That means there are ability, but they are not fully matured. The reason being that there are 5 obstacles and is 10 immoral deeds, which is blocking, which I am working. So what I am suggesting all of you to do is to do that. Remove the 5 akusala, that is nivarna, and the dasa akusala. So when we look at vivichehi kamehi vivichehi akusala dhammehi, then vivekajam, that is, use the discrimination in looking at what should be taken and what should not be taken. Then vitakka vichara, with that we come into the first jhana. And when we come into vitakka, we need to have samma sankappo developed. So we need to have the nekhamma sankappo, abhyapada sankappo, avihimsa sankappo developed. What it means is that by understanding anicca, you know that the body is breaking away every moment. So you know the breath is going and coming out, going and coming out. It means new breath is going in, old breath is coming out. So observing that, you don't have to sit in a closed eyes posture. You can just be normal, or even if you sit with a closed eyes posture is also fine. And you can get into the first jhana. So before we go there, there is another sutta. We are talking about DN26, MN26, Majjhima Nikaya 26. There is another sutta, MN25, which also gives a simile. In this, the simile is on the deer, and in this MN26, what we are talking about is, he gives the same simile. So the long simile is there in this MN25. So here Buddha gives 4 examples, 4 deer examples. There is a group of deer, and that group of deer is roaming around, and then the person who want to put a bait for them to catch these deer plans it. And when he plans it, he'll plan in such a way that the deer will leave what it is eating and tries to see what new thing has come. And it gets caught in the net. So the first example here is, Mara has 5 senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. And all these 5 senses are Ramaniya, entertaining. They are Nandi. That means you want to relish it. Nandi Raga Sahagata. Tatrabi Tatra Abhinandini. That means to say that here and there I would love to enjoy the aroma coming through the nose, the taste coming through the mouth, the sound coming through the ear. Let's say somebody breaks the papad. It's so nice to hear, and immediately mouth will start to water, because today special is papad and I would love to eat. The sound of papad, sufficient. Then the sight. So nice. So sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. All the 5. Now this is how Mara places us to take it. And when you take it, rebirth consciousness has already happened. Now what Buddha says is that, watch this. This is what Mara is doing. Okay, that's the first. And the second set of deer, they look at the first set of deer falling prey to that person, that the bait is, he has put a bait. So they now think that we will not go near. So then what they really do is, they don't go near. Very happy. But during the summer season, the water dries up. And there is no rain. And there is no food. So now they have to come in search of food. So what they were inside, they will have to unnecessarily come outside. And when they come outside, they fall into the net. Because now there is a lot of food. So they want to eat the food. And when they eat the food, they fall into it. So this is the ascetic and Brahmins who trouble their body so much that they're deprived of everything. And when they were almost about to die, they had to eat something. But when they ate something, they got all the five senses back. Before Buddha also, and during Buddha and after Buddha, all the three states, if we were to take, there were ascetics and Brahmins who believed in torturing their five senses. What they used to do is, they should take an arrow, prick both the eyes. Why? Eye is the problem. Then they used to take hot oil, pour it in the ear, because ear is the problem. Then the taste problem. So they had to take sand and rub it so much that it starts bleeding. Okay? So taste is a problem. Touch. Cut your both hands and both legs. Okay?
That all is himsa, but
yeah, that's himsa.
Isn't this like completely opposite to whatever is said in the scriptures?
But that is what it is. See, I tried, but it is not working, so I will destroy all the five senses. Okay, then the smell. Now what you have to do? Put a centipede inside the nose. It will bite, bleeds, that's it. And the person is almost dead. This is one way. There were a lot of other people who came to Buddha to find out whether he's doing right or wrong. One set of people were to act like dogs, because they felt that dog is a precious animal. It is the most faithful animal. And some people took cows, so they behaved like cows. So like that. So there's so many of those stories. And Buddha always said that, look, if you go to this extreme, which you're calling tapasya, you will be reborn in hell. Forget about going to heaven. Forget about that. So he saw both of them being a problem. So he looked at this ascetic and Brahmins who became very obsessed of what they were doing. And then when they became very sick, they now have to rebuild everything. So they became a real easy target for Mara. And now comes the third kind of deer. And this deer became very smart. They managed to escape the threat. However, they could not sustain. Now, Vishwamitra is one kind of person who really got to the top could not control it. So he came down. Like that, there are many sages we can see who reached the heights and had to come down. Then the fourth kind. Now, which is this fourth kind? This is what Buddha is all about. So you have to first develop. So what to develop? You develop 4 Pachavekkhana, like what we spoke day before yesterday. Why you are eating, why you are putting on dress, why you are staying in a particular place, and why you require medicines. If all the 4 are implemented in a proper way, and you remove you in the sense, even including me, remove the dasa akusala and the 5 nivarna completely, then arhata phala samapatti is guaranteed. Because you will have all the 37 factors of enlightenment working, both the Pakya Dhamma, completely developed. So the first jhana, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9. If I were to explain, the first jhana experience is Samma Sankappu giving rise to Vichara. Then when we know that we are not having any craving for the material body, the body becomes light. When the body becomes light, we are in the second jhana, which is piti. And the mind and the body becomes completely liberated, almost, and that is sukha. So this is the third jhana. Fourth jhana is ekagata, where you find equanimity, which is also called ekagata. You find oneness with everything. Then you come to the fifth jhana. How to do fifth jhana? This is where we are coming into arupa jhana. For that, what you need to experience is, you need to experience a skeleton form first, not imagination. You will find a skeleton, and you will find everyone is a skeleton. Now you disengage the skeleton, it becomes space, infinite space. If your body becomes infinite, everything is infinite now. That space becomes infinite. So there is no wall, there is no building, there is nothing. It's just free floating. At that time, you will have another important milestone. You will, for the very first time, experience what is consciousness. You will see how space automatically becomes something and it enters everywhere. So wherever there is space, there is consciousness. So then we can experience how moon is staying there, how sun is staying there, how each one of these planets are working, and including all of us. Then a beautiful thing happens to you is Hadayavattu, you will see it, which is a shiny surface with 5 shines. The first shine is the Chakku. The second shine is Sota, Ghana, Jivha, Kaya. And Hadayavattu itself is a Mano. So that lotus opens up. 6 petals. Consciousness just moves on that, this starts shaking. So he says, Akinchayatana. Kincha means little. Kincha means no little being there. The object just reflects on that and goes away. It is like you have a rear view mirror and you're driving. You see the reflection on the mirror, but you can't touch it. You can't really do anything with that. That's exactly what is happening with all of us. In each of the senses, The light comes in, chitta becomes vijnana, and it connects both of them as though it is bringing the object into the shiny surface. So he called that as a pasada rupa. Chakku pasada rupa, ghana pasada rupa, kayas pasada rupa, sota pasada rupa, jivha pasada rupa. This is pasada rupa. Pasada rupa means, pasada means to shine. So pasada rupa is this object, like I'm bringing a hand, shines on that just like a mirror. So whatever comes in front of the mirror, when the object goes away, the mirror stays, but there's no person there. So you should see this. This is akinchayatana. This is what Allara Kalama explained to Buddha, which he mastered. Then when he went to Udaka Ramaputta, he taught him Neva Sanya Na Sanya Ayatana. Now what happens in Neva Sanya Na Sanya Ayatana is there are 6 ayatanas. Even in the Akinchayatana there are 6 ayatanas which we just now spoke. It is a home. That is, you feel there is a home in eyes. This is my eye, my ear, my nose, my tongue, my body, and my mind. It's a home. You always feel I am at home. A kinchayatana means there is no home. There is nothing there. After that comes the sanya. This sanya has sanya of what? Rupa sanya, Shabda sanya, Rasa sanya, like that. For all the 6 sanyas, Dhamma sanya. It knows Neva sanya, na sanya. Experience is, when you're seeing an object, not with closed eyes. It happens without closed eyes also. For a moment, there is nothing that you are perceiving, yet you are perceiving. I will tell you what it means. I am not perceiving my wife is na sanya. There is no nimitta. Neva sanya, na sanya. Neva sanya means I have an image already. Na sanya, I am not able to place the object. It's a beautiful state to be in, wherein you will see consciousness everywhere, and then you don't have wife, you don't have husband, you don't have child, you don't have home, you don't have anything. It's the most peaceful. So earlier, before Buddha, they used to have this song, Etan Santan, Etan Panitan, Yadidam Neva Sanya Na Sanya Ayatana. That was the last. Now Buddha found out that doesn't lead to perception not being there, and feeling is still there. I feel I am husband. I feel I am Vilas. When I'm sitting, suddenly I feel I am Vilas. That's still not gone. So then he found out how to do it. So he found out the sankhara is the problem. So sabba sankhara samatho. Sabbupadi patinisargo. Tanha khayo. This was missing. In every other tradition, tanha was missed, because that is to stitch the past with the future. So tanha khayo, craving gone. Viraga then happens. Nirodha nibbana. So then he found nibbana is a state when you don't have feeling and also you don't have perception. So that ends the journey. So this is how you skip from Mara. So Mara no longer can pick up that consciousness. So what does Mara do? Or Yama basically will do. Yama will pull the consciousness. Now if a person is an arhat, he himself gives it up. So the Yama doesn't have any work to do. Because if Yama catches, he will then decide what to do with that consciousness based upon the merit and demerit. Now this person has removed both the merit and there is no demerit. So there is, question comes, where does it establish? Where does the consciousness establish? Now in this particular case, it's like a lamp. So he gives a example of an oil lamp, wherein if you blow that oil lamp, nobody knows where it went. So a lot of ascetics used to ask Buddha, you are giving description about where the person is landing, but you are not giving any description of arhats. Where are they landing? So he gives a very nice thing. In the case of Tathagata and Arhat, they neither appear nor they disappear. No, you can't say they disappeared. You can't say they appeared. You can't say they both appeared and disappeared. So there is nothing you can say. Because if you say they went there, that means they still exist. So then he gives similes, saying that Tathagata exists now, a Tathagata exists later. The Tathagata exists now and later. Does Tathagata doesn't exist now and doesn't exist later? Or Tathagata get dissolved now and yet stays later? So there are, in the Brahmajala Sutta, there are 62 wrong views, and in that also Tathagata wrong view also will come. So basically this is what we need to do to reach a complete Nibbana at Arhat. So from Sotapanna to Sakadagami to Anagami to Harat. So now the question of Shreyas is that what I need to do, or what anybody needs to do, has to start from Dasa Akusala. Now the 9 stages of Vijnana was his question. So the 9 stages of Vijnana, to see Chitta, your Chitta should be bright. That means we need to implement Dasa Akusala. Remove the Dasa Akusala and replace it with Dasa Kusala. So where do I find Dasa Kusala? I think I had sent that sutta. I will tell you again where to read it. Hold on.
It was Samadhika Sutta.
No. This is Kunda Suttam, Anguttara Nikaya 10.176. This is only for Dasa Kusala Kammapattha.
Oh, okay.
It's only for practicing that. So it starts with Trividam Ko Kayena Socheyam Hoti. I think we had already done this video some time ago.
Okay.
We made it like one meditation subject. So it talks about 3 of Kaya, 4 of Vachi, and 3 of Mano. Okay, so 3 of Kaya, Panatipata, Adinnadana, Kameshamichachara. All the 3 takes you to animal realm of existence. Then 4 by speech, Musavada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, Sampapalapa. And 3 by mind, Abhicca, Vyapada, Michaditi. So totally 10. And the 5 hindrances also have to be removed. That is Dasa, 5 Akusala. He calls it as Akusala Dhamma. Vivichehi Kamehi, Vivichehi Akusala Dhammehi. So before we start on the first jhana, we should have suppressed the 5 hindrances and then start. Okay, so we are done for today. So today we ended early. In case if we have something to discuss, we can. Otherwise, we can close.
So, can you explain Neva Sanya once again?
No, it's very simple, Shreyas. Your name is Shreyas. Is Sanya. There is a nimitta, symbol, a sign. Na Sanya. There is no Shreyas.
It's Animita, basically.
Which means no Shreyas.
Okay.
So now you are in a duality, whether you are Shreyas or you are not Shreyas. Whether the world exists or the world doesn't exist. Whether world exists and doesn't exist, and exists and doesn't, so you will go into that loop.
Permutation, combination.
Okay, because you are not able to place the sanya. So you get eternalistic view, that means world always exists. You get annihilationist view, which will say that world will never exist. This is again a wrong view. That doesn't mean that neva sanya na sanya ayatana is going to take you there. No. What it does is, basically you can't say you are liberated. You can't say you are not liberated. It's just one step below the liberation, but it's so peaceful being there. Because when you see something, you will not get anywhere hooked. So that gives you a feeling that you're already liberated.
Okay.
But internally, the fires are still existing because the feeling still comes. With feeling comes perception. So he wanted to bring Sanya Vedita Nirodha because there shouldn't be feeling and perception. Whereas the previous things, it was only on perception orientation.
So this Sanya Vedita Nirodha, is it again in all postures?
Yes, no, it is not only in all postures. See, if you go to Pāsarāsisutta, there they explain. If somebody is sitting, see now, jhanic experience versus just contemplation. You have to take both. Now, let us say you are in a state of anagami and above. You basically lose interest in life. Because you have seen the truth. So there is nothing which is charming, nothing which is enticing, nothing which is attractive. So that is the reason when you become an arahat, there is no need to work or anything, and you will not have a family, which is true because you cannot recognize now it as a family. So automatically you will get out of it.
Okay.
So right now I am with my wife and child, is 100% guarantee that I have not reached arahat. Okay, so I will be telling lies, which is again part of Musavada, that I have already become arahat. So which is I'm making a block.
Yeah.
I'm making a curtain for myself, which is not good. So having gone this far, there's no point in putting some blocks.
Yeah.
So this state is so nice that you feel you're liberated. Now the one thing which is missing is the Vedana. And the mind attaches to the Vedana. Because mind itself is Vedana. It has a Vedana. So it attaches to the Sukha Vedana or to the Dukkha Vedana. So now you have Asukha Adukha Vedana, which is where that ignorance works, avidya. So unless we work on that, this Sanya Vedita Nirodha is not going to happen. Now I sit. I don't have any better work. So what I can do now? I can sit. I can say, for 7 days, I will not come back.
Correct.
Finished. Lizard can climb up.
Yeah.
Snake can climb up. Nothing is going to happen. I'm not going to get to who is come. Because that is again. You still in Sanya, not even reached there. Some fly comes and I hit the fly. What is this state? This state is how we are in a deep sleep state.
Okay.
In the deep sleep state, it is ignorance. In here, you are yourself going to that. So then, in the Chula Vedana Sutta, as well as in the Mahavedana Sutta, in the Chula Vedana Sutta, if you have seen that Visakha asked Dhamma Dinna, When he comes back, what happens?
Correct.
He says, then you have not understood. Nothing happens. No, how does he come back? He says with nimitta.
Correct. Just remember that you have a house or a wife, you'll suddenly come back.
Whatever. You make animitta to nimitta and you are back.
Correct. Yeah.
Now he'll ask, how do you make animitta to nimitta? Then she says, you have asked more than what is required. I suggest you go to Buddha and ask him.
Okay.
And that fellow is anagami. You please understand. That person is an anagami. He cannot establish in that what we can say, neva sanya na sanya ayatana also and sanya vedeta nirodha. Only at arahata phala samapatti you will completely know what is neva sanya na sanya ayatana. Not before that. You will get a glimpse of that. And a little glimpse of that nirodha samapatti, which is nibbana of the sanya vedeta nirodha. It's just a momentary. Right now also we will be feeling it's so momentary that at that moment you don't exist. So when you don't exist, that is sanya vedeta nirodha. When you come back, I have come back. That means you are back. Now where was I? Just like asking, I was sleeping. Oh, what were you doing is sleeping? Oh, I was sleeping. Okay, so what were you doing is sleeping? There can't be any answer. Give me an answer now. What were you doing in deep sleep? Deep sleep, it was very deep. I know, but where were you? Nobody can answer. That is ignorance. That is what avidya is all about. Now you are not having any avidya because the underlying defilements, asavas are also gone. So there is no longer asava. So you get asava khaya jnana. So the difference between the deep sleep state and this state, in the deep sleep state, you cannot go to deep sleep. It happens.
It happens. Correct.
Nobody says that I am now going to deep sleep.
Yes.
Whereas in this state, you will say, now I am going to the Nirodha Samapatti state. I will come back after 7 days. And that's a max. If that person doesn't come back in 7 days, the body will break up completely. It cannot stay. So the maximum a person can stay in that state is 7 days. After that he comes back. Then he eats. Then again he doesn't have any work to do. Again he goes back for 7 days. 1 week retreat.
So he'll be like that until all his karma exhausts.
No, until he comes to know the Jivit Indriya when it is going to go. So he will come to know. So there are 2 other concepts we will have to know. Itti Indriya, Jivit Indriya and Purisa Indriya, the 3 Indriya. So Itti Indriya will give the consciousness. When it enters into Itti Indriya, it makes it a female body. And when it enters into the male, that is Purisa Indriya, it becomes a male body. And then when the consciousness enters into the Jivita Indriya, the Jiva comes. So this consciousness is going to stay till the Jivit Indriya is going to be there, which is defined by Ayus. Again, that is defined in the Vedana Sutta.
Yeah.
He says between a dead person and this, what's the difference? So that's a difference. Okay, we are still far away from all of that. So we have a long way to go. So let us take the journey. But what we can understand from Chula Vedana Sutta, even an anagami cannot get into the Nirodha Samapatti. He will have removed Kamachanda and Vyapada. but he has not removed avidya, he has not removed mana, he has not removed udacha, he has not removed kamara, sorry, the ruparaga, and he has not removed aruparaga. That means he loves to be in arupa jhanas, he loves to be in rupa jhanas. He is addicted to jhana.
The very thing which helps, you can get addicted to that also. So
Yes, so he doesn't go beyond the seventh or eighth jhana. Seventh jhana, that's all.
yeah. So,
See, at present, my experience, good experience, is until 6th and 7th jhana. Not beyond that. Only once I was able to establish into the Nevasanya Nasanya Ayatana. And only for a limited period I was able to understand what is Nirodha Samapatti. So I have a long way to go. But only good news. I can go into jhana at any point in time. That's the beauty of it. But
full control.
full control. So I can go now, I can go out. When I want to go to sleep, I can go into jhana, that I can do. But the morning times when I sit and do it, it is beautiful. But that I am not getting when I am wanting to sleep. So this is a hindrance. The udacha is a hindrance. So it doesn't allow you to do. So then what I get is the dreams.
Okay.
And dreams coming means gone. Finished. So again, a long way to go for me. What should happen is the first part of the night, you remain in jhana. Second part of the night, you sleep. Third part of jhana, again keep on walking. So you do the walking meditation. Okay, good then. So shall we end the session or any other questions apart from Shreyas? All okay? No sound. All are in jhana then.
Thank you. No jhana.
Suyog, anything you have to add or delete or modify?
I just wanted to ask this, not in the context of the today's question, but it's like for so many days I was thinking that there is something called as right view, right efforts. Whatever the things that we do in the daily life, are they ethical or they are not ethical? Sometimes we say, okay, fine, if we're breaking the law, but it's for the good reasons, then we should consider it as unethical. So there are so many things in the mind that how should we approach for the things that like this world is going to come and stop us. Like sometimes we think chalta hai ye means there is something called a chalta hai attitude, and whether it is good or not, whether it's in kushal karma or not, or whether it's in a kushal karma. So I think in the next class we will discuss it.
Okay, so we will do that tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
We'll take a practical thing tomorrow. No Buddha Dhamma, so we'll apply Buddha Dhamma in our normal working, waking life.
Yes.
That's better. I think we had enough of theory.
Yeah.
Now we all are PhD in Buddha Dhamma.
No.
No, at least knowing it.
Sweet.
Knowing it. Now I have made 210 videos, so many videos are there now.
Synopsis for PhD.
Okay. I mean, you have made one synopsis.
No. You say no, we have done PhD.
Yes.
We have not done PhD.
Oh, you have done synopsis. Okay. Now I understand. Okay. Good. Kalpana ji, any...
I don't finish my PhD also. I'm in nursery. How can I will give this to young level? I'm listening to you.
No, if you are in nursery, I am also a nursery school teacher.
No, sir. You are doing your degree. PhD. You may be doing your PhD.
Anyway, I am doing something.
one question more.
Yes, go ahead.
Vitality also depends on Dhamma, na?
Which one?
Vital forces, vitality.
Yes, vitality is dependent. That is, Jivit Indriya is dependent on karma. 100%.
That perfectly.
That is
Not
fixed.
that we are going to die.
No. That is fixed. The Jivit Indriya, how long it should stay in a body is fixed.
Yes, that's what I am asking.
Yes, that is fixed. If my life is supposed to be 80 years, even if I become Arhat tomorrow, I have to lead my life for 80 years.
Yes.
If I have not become Arhat, even at 80 years, it is not going to wait, saying, oh, you didn't do Arhat, is it? Wait, let me wait for you. No. The number of heartbeats is fixed.
Yes.
Nothing can be done. And also the number of breaths are fixed. So the only thing you can do, which is what the yoga is all about. What is the alternative now? Supposing you want to extend your life for brahmacharya, what you can do? Control your breath. Heart will slow down. There is one thing. So I had gone to test my heart. Okay. So they gave me ECG report and all that. And then they also did a brain scan using an instrument. As per that beating, I am having, normally people have, there are two kinds of heart rates. I am not able to get the word. Suyog, what are the two different heart rates you have?
Rates are the same, like it is in between the things, like 72 they consider it as a normal. So between 60 to 80 they consider it as a normal.
No. Bradycardia is...
Bradycardia is like very fast.
Yeah, bradycardia is very slow. So my heartbeat is very slow. Not only that, there is...
There is some.
there is one. I'm not getting that word anyway. So as per that, my heart is around 20-year-old right now. So I'm going to have a long life if I keep the heart in the same condition what it is today. Because my heartbeat doesn't cross beyond 50 to 53, and I can bring it down to 32.
And what about
Pardon?
breathing?
Breathing what?
What
Six.
is
Six.
About breathing, right?
Breathing will be 6 per minute.
That it's not that the athletes that we learn on a daily basis, they have the bradycardia, they have the lower number of heart rates.
Yes, that's correct. No, there is a medical condition also on the bradycardia, but this is not a medical condition. Like an athlete person whose heart rate will be very low. I am not able to get that. So tomorrow when we meet, I'll tell you.
Sinus bradycardia.
No, nothing to do with bradycardia. That is another, the heart. As you age, what happens to the heart?
Pumping capacity decrease.
No, there is one term which is used for that. I'm not getting that term.
That we have got certain amount of breath will be fall.
Yeah, that is correct.
Very breath will be there. There is a the number of breaths we brought with our birth. If we do it, then we will, our life will end.
Yes, that is correct.
And if we are breathing again and again and again and again, we will die too. Because number of breaths we have brought with our birth.
Yeah, so you can only maintain your breath. You can't do anything beyond that.
Sir, that's...
Oh, sorry, Kalpana ji. I was hearing that side music, so you can again unmute. There were some sound of children, so I just muted. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, the next slide is very long due to the his breathing and the heartbeat capacity.
I did not understand.
The next slide is very long
Right.
due to the breathing is very slow and heartbeat is also very slow.
Correct.
That's why
Correct.
he lives the long life.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not getting it, but I will try to search for that report and tomorrow tell you. Okay, good night then. We'll meet tomorrow. Namo Buddhaya. Namo, thank you. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya.